Hey guys, I'm Rhonda Dracoulis with RK3 Designs, and we do unique epoxy finishes. Today, I'm gonna show you how to create a gorgeous, unique black galaxy finish. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with a substrate that's been painted black. In this case, we use the Stone Coat Countertop undercoating, and we only have to wait 4 hours before we're able to start our pour. If you do a latex paint, you're gonna want to wait at least 24 hours so all of that can off-gas that. All right, so here we go. We have started off with 24 ounces of clear epoxy. We're using Stone Coat Countertop Epoxy, has a great open time, so I'm not worrying about rushing through any of this. I'm going to separate a little bit of the epoxy out, and I'm gonna color it. All right, so we're gonna start off with our bronze just resin. It's a paste, and it is absolutely gorgeous. High metallic, little bit goes a long way. The just resin products mix so well into the epoxy, almost like butter. Look at that, isn't that pretty? All right, so that was our bronze. All right, next we'll come in with gold metallic powder. I like using different mediums, a paste, a powder, maybe a dye, because they really work against each other when you put them in the epoxy and cause some really cool effects. And I'm doing these colors opaque. I don't want to be able to see through to the stick, to the grain on the stick. So I really want to tint this opaque. These two colors. All right, so we have a gold and we have a bronze. All right, now I'm gonna take the rest of this and I'm gonna tint it with black mica, but I'm gonna tint it very transparent. It's gonna be almost like a smoky color, so we're gonna do a little bit at a time. By doing it a transparent black over a black, we're gonna build depth in our piece. I think I'm gonna go a little deeper than that. Add a little bit at a time and kind of build that opacity up. Perfect. Has a little bit of a tint. All right, now to this, I'm gonna actually pour a little bit, and we'll tint that a little bit more. But to this, I'm gonna be adding black glitter, a very, very fine black glitter, and some gold dust. I know you guys see me use diamond dust all the time, but we're gonna use gold dust this time. And not a whole lot, just a little. Just want to kind of catch the light. Okay, now with our little bit of smoky epoxy that we have left, I'm gonna actually put a little bit of white in there. I'm gonna kind of create a gray. So the white I'm gonna be using is also by Just Resin, also available on our website, and it's titanium white. Now you can use our Alumilite white as well, but the titanium white, you're gonna see, it's gonna really give me a cool kind of a cell design when we start to use the heat gun, at least in theory. All right, yes, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted this white to be almost kind of an off-white, more of a gray. So having a little bit of that black mica powder in there before we started gave me the perfect shade. All right, here we go. We're doing 3 ounces per square foot. I'm gonna pour this out, and then I'm gonna save a little bit of this in my cup. Heat it up just a little bit, makes it a little easier to move. Now, because we're using a very transparent epoxy over a black solid base color, the depth of this is gonna be so pretty. Now, I love to use my hands. If I was doing a really large kitchen or a large countertop or a big table, I would be using a trowel and it would just make it a little easier. But I love using my hands. I can take my fingers, and as it rolls over that edge, I can run my fingers underneath that edge and help that epoxy roll over. You'll also notice we took a router to our edge and we rounded over that edge. That helps that epoxy just roll over and give us really pretty edges. Okay, torch. Just this alone looks absolutely gorgeous. Just that black glitter and a little bit of that gold dust in that transparent epoxy looks beautiful. And we're already starting to build depth. Okay, so now let's start laying our veins down. All right, we're gonna start off with our bronze. And I'm just gonna come in here and do a very simple vein, kind of back and forth. And let's see, let's do one right there too as well. And then we'll come in with our gold and then come in with our white. Actually, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come in with my heat gun first. I'm gonna open this vein up just a little bit. All right, so we're gonna take the leftover color and we're gonna add a little bit more of the white grayish color and kind of spread out our vein. Now this is something that you need to decide how much of your surface do you want to have your vein. If you're doing a really big kitchen, do you want just a little bit of that vein? So that's gonna be up to you on how busy you make your finish. So I'm gonna add a little bit more white here and a little bit here. Then we're gonna come in with some more of our transparent and we're gonna kind of run it next to it. We're gonna take our gun again. All right, so remember, the more you heat your epoxy, the more fluid it becomes. So you wanna be very mindful of how hot you're getting your epoxy. The hotter you get it, the more fluid it gets, and you'll actually lose control of being able to put it where you wanna put it. So if you don't like how it looks and you've already heated it up quite a bit, take a step back, let your epoxy cool down just a little bit, and then come back and manipulate it a little bit more. You don't want to scorch your epoxy and get it too hot and get it to a point where you can't bring it back. By going backwards, back over the new amount of epoxy that we put in, you're gonna get a very 3D look. All right, so I wanna make sure my epoxy is not too hot. You never wanna put alcohol into really hot epoxy because all it's gonna do is open up and it'll close right back again. And you won't get the effect that you're trying to get. So I'll let this cool down just a couple of minutes, put my hand over it, and now I'm gonna come in with plain isopropyl alcohol and very high, we're gonna very lightly mist it. You can also do the same thing with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol mixed with gold metallic. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put just a tiny bit of that gold because I don't want that to overpower what I have already. This is also isopropyl alcohol mixed with the same gold mica powder that we used in our finish. And we did about 1/2 ounce to 8 ounces of the alcohol. Check your spray. You want to come very high, and I'm just going to put a tiny bit of that gold. All right, I like that. Let's give it about 10 minutes, let it quit moving, and then we'll see what you think. I could see this in a man cave. What do you think? I love it. I love how the white is kind of over the top and almost gives that 3D effect of being able to look down into the vein. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. All righty, guys, if you like this and you'd like to see more like this, let me know. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell for future notifications. That way you know every time we put a video out. Also, every Tuesday night, you guys need to join us here on our YouTube channel at 7 o'clock Central. We do a fun live, very interactive, and we have a blast. All of these products that we use are also available on our website. And the most important thing, guys, remember, don't be scared. Move forward and be creative. See you next week.